you so much.
Phew, nice work. We won without much incident, thanks to all of you.
Now the enemy knows we're on the move. What do you plan to do?
I intend to ask the Alliance Lords to share some troops with us to bolster our forces.
I will speak plainly. No matter whom we beseech for reinforcements, our envoys will inevitably pass through Gloucester territory. My father is being cautious not to give the Empire a pretext to intervene. Therefore, he is unlikely to allow even envoys to pass through.
Why not request reinforcements from the kingdoms?
I guess I haven't told you yet, Teach. The kingdom isn't in a position to be sending anyone reinforcements. After losing King Lambert during the tragedy of Dusker, a regent had been handling its politics. But then, there was a bloody coup. The regent and Prince Dimitri both. Apparently the whole family was killed. All bladed territory, including the kingdom capital, is being ruled by those who are cooperating with the Empire. The kingdom is no more. It's now called the Fargus Dukedom. The vast majority of the former kingdom lords bent a knee to the overwhelming power of the Empire and the dukedom, and now fall under their jurisdiction. Some who formerly held power are continuing to resist, but it would be difficult for them to regain it.
Oh hey, I can think of one person who we can ask for reinforcements. Someone whose territory is really close and who's on good terms with Claude. Ah, the hero of Daphno, I presume.
I've seen her before, and she does seem to be reliable.
You're talking about Judith, right? I bet she would lend us a hand.
She does seem strong.
That's right, you've met her once before, Teach. She's a fearsome one-woman army. She did a lot for me, even before I was recognized as the heir to House Regan. I don't like the idea of owing her more than I already do, but given the current situation, sacrifices must be made. I'll reach out to her. As for the rest of you, prepare for our next battle. Hey, Teach. How are you feeling? Does anything feel strange at all?
Nothing in particular.
Good. I still vividly remember you suddenly collapsing and passing out after you went through those changes. But maybe that's not a concern now that you've spent 5 long years napping. Your command bringing my schemes to life. That's just how we fight best.
Any word from Judith?
Not yet, but there's no need to worry. That woman adores me. Once we've bolstered our forces, it'll finally be time to start taking decisive action. But I wonder, do you really think Rhea is still alive?
Oh, she's gotta be. She's just gotta be. Also, I wish she was so I can question her about a lot of stuff.
I think so too. It's hard to imagine the death of someone as important as her staying a secret. I wonder where she is and what she's doing.
Do you hope she's dead?
That's a dangerous question, Teach. To be honest, I've given it a lot of thought. All I know is that I still have a lot of questions I need to ask her.
It's good to know that we're on the same page.
About the true history of Creststones and Heroes' relics, and the truth behind the legend of Seros and Nemesis. She has secrets. Too many of them for my comfort. Considering the state of the world, it's suspicious.
This is why me and Claude are like the perfect duo. We know we're thinking the same exact thing. This is exactly what I'm thinking. Especially those last 2 words, it's suspicious.
You must be curious about what was done to you and what her plans were for you, right? And you never did learn about your mother, did you? None of our doubts will ever be cleared unless we hear these answers from Rhea herself. In that sense, I absolutely hope Rhea is still alive. But as far as Fodlan goes, I do wonder what a world without Rhea would look like.
A world without Rhea.
The majority of people in Fodlan believe in the Seros faith that Rhea preaches. That's why they accept the noble system as if it were the only option, and refuse to associate with those who believe in anything else. That closed-minded philosophy is the reason why Fodlan's throat is locked tight. But if you remove the Archbishop who strictly advocates that doctrine, that worldview is no longer an absolute. There's room for free thought. The leadership of the church would undoubtedly fall to you, and you would hold the power to change the shape of the faith, of the world. Then, for the first time, people would truly be free to think for themselves, to decide what's right and what's wrong. Honestly, I believe Edelgard is probably hoping to achieve something very similar. But her methods require too much bloodshed. That's not something the world can get behind. Anyway, the best thing we can do is find Rhea and hear what she has to say. Oops. I guess I've been going on for a while now. Sorry about that. You should get some rest.
There's no way Rhea's dead. We're finding her.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Pegasus Moon. Valley of Torment. Having repelled the Imperial Vanguard, the Alliance army requests reinforcements from Judith, head of House Daphno, the governing body in the northwestern regions of Alliance territory.
Load, game, load. Thank you.
What? Not enough left for seconds? I'm barely half full!
You eat too much anyways, Raphael. Supplies are running low, so you're just gonna have to deal with it.
You've always been so level-headed, Cyril. Now that you've grown up, you're even more that way.
Maybe it's just that the rest of you haven't grown enough. You could work harder at being reliable.
I can't grow if I can't eat.
I have some good news for my hungry friends. We got a reply from Judith. Mr. Leaderman has called a meeting about it. Hurry up, everyone.
We finally received a reply from Judith. The hero of Daphne has agreed to support us with soldiers and supplies.
She's gonna give us food? She really is a hero.
Maybe Raphael will simmer down now.
Now, regarding where we're going to receive the delivery.
As this is a request from none other than the leader of the Alliance, I wish that I could send troops at once. However, openly marshaling soldiers within my territory could provoke other members of the Alliance. Therefore, I will secretly gather troops in Aelel, the Valley of Torment. Will your group be able to receive the soldiers at this location? From there, it should be safe to return to the monastery by following the border between the Alliance and the Kingdom.
I cannot say that word for the life of me. Aelel? Aelel? I don't know. Valley of Torment?
Aelel is on the border between Daphne territory and the Kingdom. It'll make sense when we get there, but it's a peculiar region.
I recall there being a scary legend about it.
In any case, if we use that valley, we shouldn't have to worry about being noticed by other Alliance lords.
Aelel, the Valley of Torment.
Alright, I guess they said it for me. ALL. Try saying that like 10 times fast. Gotta have a tea party for best girl. Just gotta.
Wow, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for taking my invitation. I am so in there.
Oh, wow, thanks.
I didn't even know what her favorite tea was, and I somehow picked it. I'm heartbroken. Let's not talk about what just happened here. Ever again. I don't want anyone bringing this up.
Thanks for the tea.
Thank you.
What's up?
Even though we're getting reinforcements, we should still be prepared for the worst. Never shirk your training, no matter what. To practice, I'm going to chop something up with my sword. Unless you'd like to train together. Care to spar?
Yes, we should spar.
Hi there.
Hello.
Meeting reinforcements in the Valley of Torment seems an astute decision to me. In that land of oppressive heat, it is unlikely that we will be disturbed. It also means we will need to contend with those harsh conditions ourselves, however. Best ensure we are well prepared.
Who else am I talking to? Get this quest done. Also, Hilda's here. See you later, Cody. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck with your class and all. Hi, Hilda.
My big brother told me stories of Judith's bravery. With just one look, she tamed a runaway horse that nobody else had been able to touch. When an Almiran general provoked her, she talked him into a tearful apology. She's spectacular. I wish she'd fight alongside us.
Oh, that'd be great.
Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Do I already have these? Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart. ALL, the Valley of Torment, lies on the border of 3 noble territories. The kingdom's Fraldarius and Galatea families, and the Alliance's Daphno family. In the Fraldarius lands to the north, the former Kingdom Army and New Duke's Army are fighting.
Good to know. I love learning about lore. Honestly, by the way, lost items is something else that I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say I love lost items. They're a neat addition, but lost items is something I just kind of get lazy. I don't really feel like doing it as the game progresses. It's a good early strategy to get motivation because you don't have too many points to go eating with people, but I feel like in part 2, lost items is pretty, unless you're using a guide, I feel like it's, unless you're using a guide or are trying to 100%, I feel like lost items is kind of pointless later in the game.
Hello. We've heard people talk about the hero of Daphno. If the stories of her courage are true, no one will be able to stand against us. In different circumstances, I'd have wanted to try crossing swords with her. Right now, we have to focus on getting to those reinforcements. Let's hope nothing goes wrong.
I'm gonna see you guys cross swords. I'm down. So I missed someone here, apparently.
The bridge that links Alliance and Empire lands is currently under the occupation of the Imperial Army. In other words, the Empire can choose to invade the Alliance whenever they wish. I want you to understand that my father does not support the Empire to antagonize House Regan. He does it to deprive them of an easy excuse to cross that bridge.
Alright. Yeah, lost items is like, it's fine in the beginning. It's a like an interesting, unique thing to do, but like it does, I just don't feel like doing it anymore. Like, I'm streaming the game especially. If I had a guide, it'd be one thing to complete everything, but if there was like achievements, then maybe, but like doesn't really see much point in it. IMO, like later in the game especially.
ALL, the Valley of Torment? What kind of a name for a place is that? It sounds scary. Do I really have to go with you? Hey, here's an idea. Maybe let the recluse stay home and hold the fort.
Yeah, you had to come with us, Bernadette. I'm sorry. I didn't make up the rules.
Maybe.
I do give lost items credit. It does help with motivation early game when you're trying to get affinity for characters you don't have in your house. But it does kind of just get pointless, is the point I'm trying to make. So it's not a bad addition, it just ends up being like, what's the point? When you could just eat with characters to get their motivation up.
Gotta clean out the storerooms, tend the flowers, do the washing, dust the library.
You need any help?
No, this is my job. Lady Rhea herself gave it to me. Even if Lady Rhea's not here right now, I still gotta do my duty. Like you gotta have other stuff you ought to be doing, yeah?
Yeah, I get it. So I saw Petra out. Oh, Leonie's here, and then I saw Petra outside.
You're not a teacher anymore, and we're not your students, but everyone still calls you Professor.
Yeah, because they don't want to reveal my name for some reason.
Is there something you'd rather be called?
Yes. Call me by my name.
Oh? Alright then, I'll call you... nope, sorry, can't do it. Too weird.
Oh my god, that was like a bullet dodge. That reminds me of something they did in Dragon Quest XI. It's only in Definitive Edition because it's in the new Act 2. They added it for like the character stories. I think it was Rab's character story. They actually almost said the Luminary's name, which is obviously you can name the hero whatever you want. And I think they said like, oh, the baby's name is this, and then I think Rab sneezed in the middle of them saying it. So they found a way to avoid that, and I thought that was really hilarious. Oh, JRPGs with non-canon names for protagonists.
Since the past, I have learned much of the language of Fodlan. But speaking the Fodlan language still gives me difficulty. I can understand, read, and write with nearly perfection now. But understanding and speaking are fruits of a different color.
Part of your charm.
I have gratitude for you, Professor. I hope that I will have fluency one day.
I'm serious. That is part of her charm. That's why I love Petra so much. It's what makes her adorable. And a unique character among JRPGs.
Thanks. Sharing her food with us for nothing in return? Judith really is a great person. She's more like a goddess than the goddess is.
I don't think you should say that.
No? Well, she could be a demon for all I care. So long as she feeds me.
It astounds me that all you think about is food. What's up, guys?
Professor, how do Claude and Judith know each other? I hear there are still quarrels within the Alliance. This generous offer of soldiers and supplies seems a little too good to be true. I mean, it's also really impressive, but I'm just a little worried, I suppose.
My family, the Galateas, are an offshoot of the Daphno family. The family split in half, and two brothers quarreled over an inheritance. Despite blood relations, the families lived apart from one another, so the relationship has been distant and somewhat estranged. I'm not so much acquainted with Judith, the head of House Daphno.
Looks like we're going to be working with her a lot more, so we better get acquainted while we can.